I stood at the threshold of my childhood home, a place that once echoed with scorn and derision, the words of my family folding back into my mind like a cursed whisper. "You'll lose your mind," they had said. "You disgrace the family." And then, the worst of all, "You're delusional, obsessed with things that don't even exist." I had left, my heart laden with defiance and the fire of my passion twinkling dimly against the ridicule. But years had passed, and I no longer felt that flicker. Now, as I turned the key and felt the familiar creak of the door, I was returned as something else entirely. No longer just their son, the oddity they had cast off. I was a necrobiologist, a word that had once made them recoil in horror. My years spent dissecting forbidden parasites had transformed me into something they would, perhaps reluctantly, respect. Their very own warning. The air inside the house was stale, thick with memories and unspoken truths. My family gathered in the living room, eyes widening as I stepped into the light. No longer the timid collector of scraps and shadows, I wore my knowledge like armor, a dark crown woven from the threads of horror I had encountered. The trophies of my work whispered behind me, a testament to what I had survived. "Look who's back," my father sneered, his disdain barely concealing a flicker of fear. "Thought you'd come to give us a good laugh, huh?" "I've come to share what I've learned," I replied, my voice steady but laced with an urgency they could sense. "You need to understand, there's more at play than you know. It's real and it's dangerous." My mother's face paled, her fingers trembling around the edge of her knitting, a subconscious barrier against what she didn't want to face. "Enough of this nonsense," my younger brother chimed in, laughter brittle and strained. "You're just trying to scare us." But behind their jibes, I sensed a tremor of doubt. I knew what I was carrying, the knowledge of sentient parasites, creatures that could infect the very essence of life. I had survived them, but they haunted me nonetheless. "Listen to me," I insisted, stepping closer. "You've mocked me for years, but the world has begun to see the truth. The parasites I study, they are changing everything. They have plans, consumption far beyond the physical. They infect thoughts, desires. Some have even taken a—" I paused, the weight of what I was about to say pressing heavy on my tongue. "A form of hive mind." At that moment, something flickered at the edge of my vision. A shadow that didn't belong to me or to the light of the room. My heart hammered, and dread crawled up my spine. I turned to find my family frozen, their laughter evaporating as they witnessed what I had brought with me. From the darkness of the corner, a shape emerged. Twisted and grotesque, the parasite I had brought, the one I had so meticulously studied, slithered into view. It was a living horror, a manifestation of the very fears they had dismissed as mere obsession. My fingers trembled as I gestured toward the creature, feeling the weight of its power. "Do you see it?" I asked, my voice barely above a whisper. "It's real. All of it is real." Their faces morphed from disbelief to unwavering terror as the creature inched closer. Its form a mass of squirming tendrils and glistening eyes, each revealing the workings of a sentient mind that hungered. What is that?" my mother stuttered, her voice catching in her throat. My father stepped back, muttering a prayer under his breath, his bravado stripped bare. "You brought it here?" "Yes," I said, feeling the swell of vindication mingling with a sickening dread. "And it wants to be recognized. It feeds on fear, on doubt. For years, I have been its prisoner, but I've learned to harness it, to unveil the horrors it reveals." It moved through the room as if savoring the atmosphere, feeding off their terror, wrapping around their disbelief like a coiled serpent. "They have thought me mad for years, but now the very monstrosity I had sought to understand stood between us, a living testament to the darkness that hid beneath our everyday lives. And then it happened." My brother stumbled backward. His face blanched with understanding. "This isn't a joke, is it?" "No," I replied, my voice saturated with the weight of everything I had endured. "This is the cost of ignorance." The creature lunged toward them with a speed that went against all reason. My family gasped, the sound echoing in the silence of their realization. As it passed through them, I saw them freeze in place, their bodies racked with spasms of horror and disbelief, an unholy communion between the creature and their unacknowledged fears. A sense of poetic justice unfolded around me as I stood witness to their despair. My mother's eyes glassed over, a reflection of the very terror she had mocked. My father's bravado shattered like glass, revealing the vulnerable man beneath. I turned away, unable to watch any longer. I had come seeking vindication, but the price had turned into something unmanageable. I stepped into the chill of the night, the creature's laughter echoing behind me, a sinister reminder of what I had unearthed. Years later, I would become a name, a chilling subject of study in the academic circles I once longed for. But this experience at the heart of my family would haunt me forever. The weight of my knowledge was a burden I carried as I stepped into the world, now armed with the chilling understanding of what lurked beyond the veil of reality. I had survived, they had not, and all that remained now was the haunting reminder that ignorance has a price, and for some, it costs the very essence of belief.